Where do you want it? Everybody wants it behind somebody else.
No, just Sean.
Just Sean?
So you can look over his shoulder. So I don't have his wife texted and said they can read my message. That was very long. Dan, I can see his photo.
Someone sent it to you?
My wife was watching a little. Yeah, she's like, hey,
Is it just in?
yeah, because it's okay, good. Yeah.
That screen.
Did you have it?
Yep.
You did?
I see what's looking.
Thank you. I'm ready for it.
Okay, we're on.
I'm on.
We're just bringing their meeting virtual Borough Council. Cheryl, allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice.
Thank you very much. This meeting is held in compliance with meetings act and advertised and retrospective upstairs. All official boroughs meeting channels. As for those of you who are here with us this evening, please put your cell phones on silent. Speak with somebody who's outside of council chambers while it's business. Roll call, please.
Mr. Benjamin?
Here.
Mr. Fitzgerald? Mr. McLuhan?
Here.
Mr. Perna?
Present.
Mr. Sperazza?
Here.
Mr. Woods?
Here.
Have a quorum, Your Honor.
Thank you very much. First on the agenda this evening is the public portion of the meeting and public portion of board seat. Record. Okay, hearing and seeing none, we'll close the public portion of the meeting. We have two proclamations this evening. First is for the Women's Club. I actually have a distinct honor of presenting this proclamation earlier this evening. The executive board and friends, and honoring 130 years of existence and good work in our community. Commercial Women's Club was a charter member of the State Federation of Women's Club. It was formed in 1894. And they have certainly been an institution for a very long time. We wanted to recognize the 130th anniversary and urge the borough residents to join us in wishing them the best. That proclamation will be provided to them. Make note of it on the record this evening. And then another proclamation I have is for our Arbor Day proclamation. Hopefully you're going to receive probably something in the mail from what's the group that is against or wants us to plant trees, send us all types of literature and paper every month. I think it's the Arbor Day Foundation. This is a proclamation claiming Arbor Day. I do hereby proclaim 2025 as Arbor Day in Borough. It's urging citizens to plant trees by the hearts of well-being of present and future generations. Here you are. Approval of minutes. We have minutes from March 10th, 2025. Regular meeting Borough Council. Everybody, Benjamin, Cheryl, second. Motion is to seconds. Cheryl, favor. Opposed. Abstention. 24th. Mr. Cheryl, Mr. Sperazza, and available. Vote for those meetings. So I don't know. So second. First, Gerald, second. On favor? Aye. Opposed? Abstentions. Okay. Mr. Benjamin, Mr. Carnell. Okay. Engineers report.
I'll put one on top of the floor and make
the engineer
Chair goes from break.
No, I don't know what the company is.
Oh. All right. Any questions about any of the things that Mr. Lee's office is working on right now? I guess, let us know. And we can communicate those to him. Any other correspondence? Okay. Council reports?
Thank you, Your Honor. Sort of shade tree. So, as you mentioned, we're approving the Arbor Day resolution today, honoring the celebration of Arbor Day on April 5th. And in celebration of Arbor Day this year, the Virtual Shade Tree Commission is doing a tree planting at the Tiny Forest. We're putting some more trees into that area to more densely populate our tiny forests. And that's going to be done on Saturday, April 26th at 10 a.m. It'll be going on from 10 a.m. to 12 p.m. and we invite and encourage residents to come out and plant a tree on our tiny forest.
Is there a plan, or is it just like it's chaos?
There is a plan. So a number of our commissioners went up to a town in North Jersey that has very large tiny forests, and they learned kind of what they did wrong, what they did right, and have developed a plan to what trees go on in what area of the perimeter. So they think you're going to plant your tall, bigger trees in the middle, and your small trees are on the outskirts of the tiny forest.
All right, so I just want to clarify the purpose.
Yes.
Those who are with us, maybe with us online, the invitation for residents to come plant trees is to assist
To assist.
with
So
the
that
trees
the
that
first
have already procured, that are planted, not just
purchased. And it will be, there'll be marks indicating which types of trees go in what holes, and so you're gonna go in there, you'll put this tree in the designated area and then fill it.
Can you make sure that, the invitation goes out to the members of council? The President, just for a little bit, to say hello.
Okay.
And I'm gonna work back and we'll publicize the event.
Okay.
For our website or social media.
Okay.
I don't believe we spoke about this in the last council report. We were approved for, once again, as a Tree City USA. We have a plaque indicating that, and I guess there's space for other subsequent years. So I guess there will be for us to continue.
Pended to a bigger plaque.
I have two more of those, and I don't have anything to attach to. I don't know if there was one time it's something to like.
We've been 41, 42.
Well,
There's other space to do plaques in, but so we get a new one every year.
no, I have two more of those.
Of the wooden,
Of the
with,
wooden
with,
cases,
One plaque.
no,
with all those
with
things
ears,
put down.
multiple.
But I have nothing to sit it in.
There's a little metal box.
Right, it's just that, so,
They're just coming down trees.
We'll have to talk to Arbor Day.
yes,
Yeah,
see if there was
yeah.
something originally that we had, and I have the little stickers for the signs too.
I mean, yeah,
Or
it's like 47.
47,
I wonder
that's
if we
what
have,
the stickers,
probably missing a couple.
a lot of little things. I only have two, so I have 10.
People just get one big one on our bid.
All right.
Worry about the next generation.
Yep.
Just report that the Green Team is meeting tomorrow for their monthly meeting. That's all I have to report. I'm happy to answer any questions related to the tiny forest or any other
So what's this saying large green forest officially from
forest. When they were describing it, I said that just sounds like that.
Which one's that? Community center? I can't remember.
It's the bike path, so
Oh,
it's I think it's Cash Brown.
You can't miss it.
Community.
Very
It's
much.
one big tall white line we took down.
All right, let's move on to the next, council member. Thanks very much, Mr. Woods.
Yes, thank you. Let's see here. For the courts, month of March, we had 2 virtual sessions, 1 in person. 257 cases added, 271 cases disposed of, and $7,787.56 for the University of Borough. Diversity Committee, we closed out Women's History Month last month with readings at the library. Their next meeting is next Tuesday, where their main agenda is the plan for Juneteenth and for the Business Association. Part of this. Senior committee, not much on this one here. I did have a virtual meeting with Marty from the county, Director of Senior Services. She's sending a ton of resources. I gotta think that's next step, start recruiting. I've been in contact with the county to help establish some resources that are available. And that's all I got.
Questions from Mr. Benjamin? Thank you very much. Mr. Fitzgerald.
Thank you, Your Honor. Start with Board of Ed. They met on April 7th. They are currently in the process of interviewing an interim principal / superintendent. They have not found a permanent placement for Mr. Strong yet. They are also in the process of looking for a business administrator as well. Did inquire about the full day pre-K. They said they're still tentatively about 2 to 3 years out due to state required building changes. Each of the preschool classes have had their own bathrooms that are designated strictly for the pre-K. So obviously that entails actually changing the makeup of the building itself in order to accommodate that. They are working towards it. So that's still potentially 2 to 3 years out. And their next meeting will be on May 5th. For DPW, we finally got the small dump truck back, so we're back up for full-time trash pickup and garbage pickup with 2 trucks. Bottle repairs continue since the weather's sort of warmed up, depending on the day. Tree maintenance continues. We did move on to our new trash collector starting last week. We had a couple initial issues, but they were worked out and everything made good sense. Also, the Public Works is looking to obtain approval to become a certified CDL testing center, and also looking at the possibility of hosting a shredding event sometime in the near future. Board of Health met on the 10th. They did state that we did acquire the county health band. Will be at all the First Friday events and also potentially a national night out. Communications, the Borough website is finally back up and running again. And for public events, we had egg hunt and roundup, both were well attended, well received. Next round of public events include the Market Center on May 2nd, the bike rodeo on May 18th, and with the Memorial Day event in Wellwood Park on May 26th. That is all I have in this.
You mentioned investigating becoming a CDL certification center. What does that entail? Is that a revenue driver, or what's
Potentially, yeah. So potentially, yes. So we're still in the process of working through getting all of our drivers CDL certified, but one of the drivers is looking to obtain his instructor's certification, and yeah, that would be a potential revenue driver. We're still kind of investigating it, but it's in the beginning.
I don't have anything else. Any questions for Fitzgerald? Actually, that's a lie. It's not Mr. Fitzgerald so much as it's related to the public events. Mr. Perno is the Director of Buildings and Grounds. We showed up to the public event on Sunday, and baseball had decided to allow it to go off the field so that nobody could access it, because apparently they felt like they had that authority. I would just maybe ask that you reach out to them and have a discussion with them, A, about never doing that again. And and they haven't provided a schedule yet.
They just did that.
Oh,
That's-
there we go. So interestingly enough, now we have schedules. If you wouldn't mind doing that, because communication is key in that relationship. That's I wasn't there, I just got pictures.
Yeah.
That was great. And so that's it. It really wasn't for you, but later when you said that, this is for us.
Good evening, all. Virtual Fire Department, 30-foot calls in the month for March, 23 in the borough, I've been talking with Shades. The last one, we had 8 fire calls, 12 hazardous conditions, 8 service calls, 6 false alarms. So we'll have them on. We're not tracking those because at some point we may need to take action as for the 6 false alarms, but then the false alarms that we have ordinance of the books. I don't think we do, so we're just tracking it. Sometimes it becomes a problem. Seems like it's that kind of person set up where if false alarm releases, constantly getting out dispatching, it's a part of the street.
I know that there were ordinances covered.
Yeah.
On that issue.
So I've asked Kevin to track it, we'll see how it goes. We've had 8 here for comparison, but 6 last one. No issues with apparatus, we get 14 training for the month of April. There is a community event being planned, we can fundraiser that building scheduled a second firehouse, so we'll be just for volunteers if anyone's interested. And then fire prevention, 70 annual inspections, 35 trade inspections, 106 violations issued, 85 issued. And then code enforcement, 93 complaints received, 21 closed, retail inspections, 18, rental inspections, 11 properties, 18 for re-inspections, and 15 were treated.
Mr. Supervisor, it was section 4:4-3
Is it?
2 within 60 days, 6 within.
Is that what it is?
Subject to general. All right, questions from Mrs. Brazil? Thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor. Birchville Police for the month of March. Officers were involved in 1,144 incidents, which includes 120 officer-initiated engagements with members of the community. They conducted 213 traffic stops. There were 89 incidents involving parking enforcement, 6 arrests, and 1 DWI arrest. The month of March was a very busy month for training. All department personnel completed mandatory cybersecurity awareness training. Lieutenant Callaway attended mandatory firearms training hosted by New Jersey State Police. Chief Gracia, Lieutenant Klein, and Callaway attended a 1-day police license class, again hosted by the New Jersey Office of the Attorney General at Borough University. Traffic safety continues to be an area of focus. In the month of March, the area of Lexington Avenue, Old Street, the department conducted 91 proactive enforcements. This resulted in 31 motor vehicle stops for observed violations. The stops resulted in issuance of 15 summonses, 29 warnings. The department will continue to heavily enforce Title 39 notification. Lieutenant Klein will be spearheading that focused enforcement in that area. Lastly, the department is pleased to have extended an offer to Oven Menendez. Oven Menendez comes from the Camden Metro Police Department. The replacement for Detective Borough. He is has to go through his completion of screening and evaluation, but the expectation is he will join the department soon and begin full field training and be in position over the summer to be a, tribute member of the departments. That is all I have for this evening, in regards to the police department. Also just want to mention the Parks and Playgrounds program. Ms. Elizabeth Nowak, now, if I'm saying that correctly, is continuing to lead those efforts in assigning, the leadership team for the Parks and Playgrounds program. She's, been working on the budget to make sure we're within the, cost, the budget for this year. And, I guess get the word out, if anyone wants to, help supply, donations to some of the arts and crafts. Greatly appreciate, supporting the program this summer. Go ahead.
Thank you. Questions for Mr. McClellan?
You said the officer who actually hired this one's
He is coming in as a regular officer in regards to the replacement of detective. They're evaluating that replacement within the existing member department.
Other questions? All right. No. Mr. Frank?
I think a couple of things on the budget. We have a resolution to do, authorizing a total of $1,008,494, which is the other total portion budget. I want to thank everybody, for taking the time to go through the budget for various comments. Thank you, Rouse, and you spent some time pulling together as well as the results, coming in. So, we did our best, good. We met with the mayor, and we're selling it around, it looks like about 8 cents is what we're coming at. And it's an average impact, the average one was about $1 a year. So it's the average one. So right now, here in the borough. So that's about all I have. Unless there's any questions.
No, I mean, the only thing I'll add, I think all of you were involved in some level of the development of the budget process. I kind of approached this thing closer to where we were the last 2 years, and very concerned. Major increases. And while 8 cents is not great, it's certainly half of what we've done the last 2 years. So I think we've stabilized both our costs and we've identified other revenue sources from a long-range budget perspective to continue to identify better resources for our revenues and alternative sources of revenues besides tax revenue. Obviously, we'll be looking at hopefully in the next budget year a larger revenue can anticipate from tax associated the ginseng operation, which was a big help. But there are other revenues I think we'll talk a little bit about, and Mr. Benjamin will talk a little bit about the revenues that is generating, which from a monthly perspective is higher than what the average is of generating that type of revenue. We're starting to see the court systems come a little bit back from, say, what happens during COVID, without having to sit here for 20 minutes to talk about that because we just need to continue to push and try and identify reasonable revenue opportunities. So we have ideas, we're all ears.
Yeah.
As long as they're legal.
I mean, and again, what really got us this year was interest rates. So last year, and this year. So the interest rates seem to like us a little bit. And another one is trying to get our salary levels back up in line. But our neighboring communities are a little bit back.
Was there an increase in healthcare costs?
This was like 30, 40.
And that's also probably.
Yeah, that's it wasn't the healthcare cost increase this year wasn't any unusual than whatever we've seen in other years.
Not a day speak.
Yeah, it was not as bad as the
Not
state.
a day.
I mean, it just, it wasn't, yeah, what we, usually when there's a problem, you know, there have been years where the healthcare cost was the driver of it. That was not the driver. We got to get more with interest in healthcare costs. At some point, we're gonna have to permanently finance our debt, and I think that's one of the questions that, you know, do we do it later this year? Or, yeah, no, he's sitting on the button, because with this market, I have no idea what to do. You know, some people said, you know, we normally think that interest rates will fall, if the economy's not gonna do well. But if stagflation settles in, you're gonna see interest rates shoot up higher than normal. So I just don't know which way it's gonna go. We're monitoring it, and if we need a judgment call, we'll make a judgment call. And like people will get to do it, but.
Yeah, you might see, I mean, I wouldn't, you guys wouldn't be surprised to see us in the middle of summer come to you and say, hey, we need to finance now.
Just warn them about that.
Just, I mean, and it may not.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know what's gonna happen.
Yeah, I mean, that was probably the biggest sticking point, well, not a sticking point, sticking as part of this, you know. If inflation continues and tariffs are gonna drive inflation up, the Fed's gonna be more responsive to inflation, to lackluster growth, because inflation is harder to attack from a monetary policy. So they, you know, there might be potential inflation still continues to go up this year, that those three potential rate cuts this year don't happen at all.
But if they do happen,
Right.
then we may want to refinance. And so that's, yeah. I feel like a cat and a option.
Yeah, so,
Anyway, the last thing on my agenda actually is the vacant and abandoned properties. We have 14 vacant properties. We have 2 abandoned, for a total of 16. Of those, 7 are commercial, 9 are single-family homes. I am happy to report that I have a deal for anybody in this room. For $65,000, YouTube owner, Victorian home, next to the school. Lots of light, lots of air, natural air. So I would encourage you to make it.
Outdoor living space inside.
Outdoor living space inside. I just call it, you know, California living. We call that California.
Sounds perfect.
So no, so overall that's going well. And then the other one is we need to, I think we have an ordinance that allows us to start to adjudicate natural decline fine. We're actually gonna start to bring people in for not registering for vacant properties. Under the Vacant and Abandoned Properties Act we now have. We're doing it in-house. Some of those fees, no one has paid the fee. We now are gonna get some feet behind it, we probably should apply some actions. So hopefully that'll be a good plan. That's all.
okay, questions, Mr. Powell? All right. Hearing Stephen. Move on to first report.
The only thing I have left is financial disclosure reports are due by the end of the month. And cybersecurity training is also due by the end of this month. If you have any problem logging on or getting the information, let me know. I'll help you with either that or the financial disclosure one.
Yeah, just have a security training.
Was that a new test?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah. Not for us.
not for you guys.
Yeah. Yeah.
There wasn't even county. Right.
Well,
It just
Is
doesn't
there
apply.
any way to
yes, if you text me if you didn't get it.
Yeah.
And maybe I'll just take everyone that didn't do it and send it.
I didn't do it yet, but I do that. That's why I can't use that excuse.
Yeah, I just, and they can send us my personal account, because we have that, we have access to that.
All right.
I just
So
want to see it. I just want to, you know,
The only other thing I guess I could, congratulations. I'm not really sure how, zero loss time.
What?
Zero?
Mhm.
Work related, most time,
Most time.
most time. Congratulations.
Yeah, but you didn't, there was no loss
No
of
loss.
time.
Okay, we made those people work.
No,
Yeah,
but
maybe they work through the.
Okay. That's it for questions. Community development. I'll touch on
That might be
syntax, yeah.
essential, but maybe not.
Rebecca has a community development.
Yeah, did you not get that? It's in the, Google Drive for sure. All right, let me find it. You look in the center folder and see if I can. There it is.
Okay, so Rebecca gave a report with a number of different things, business updates. You can see, it would appear, I mean, we met last week with Jordan Burroughs and his attorney and his architect. And they're moving forward with purchasing the CBS building and putting the rest of the capital. Yeah. His wrestling academy is called, all I see is called Wrestling Academy. Jordan Burroughs was called wrestler, States of America. So, nice guy. You know, I think it's a great use of facility. So, look forward to that. It looks like they're going to try and get the application for, I would say May, probably May. Pine Hall Ground, we're doing, on May 10th, and we can bring this back up later, but we're going to do a first time purchase celebration. I guess we're moving forward with notifying 22 South Center Street and 22 West Park of their addition to the vacant properties list. Those are commercial properties. And 25 West Park Avenue, to stop work order for looking permits. That's all. It's there. Projects, Road Park Tennis Court virtually is ongoing. And that once that'll be completed, I guess, in the next couple of weeks.
Yeah, probably by
Okay. East Park Avenue, which is on here, I'll talk about it here. Notice to proceed was provided by the county contractor for the main bid. This is a widening of Park Avenue to allow for better parking along Park Avenue here, as well as some streetscape improvements that you're seeing. Triangle sort of pedestrian walkway. So that will begin May 5th. I know that we've already had concerns from this one business about how it's going to impact them. And so we're going to reach out to the ERI is doing construction management, just make sure that they're on top of and understand the businesses. I don't know when kickoff meeting is, so I would assume most of that is generally then. But I don't believe it's code. I know.
This is how the county, correct?
Yep.
I don't believe they had a pre-con yet.
What's that?
I don't believe they had a pre-con.
I don't think so. Let's see.
although we did have a pre-con meeting, because it was supposed to start in the fall, and
Right. So
they
maybe.
may have considered that.
Okay. Well, you're going to reach out anyway. Reach out to Jeremy Nolan and ERI. He's the one who's manager. Phone number 3. The multi-use path, the grant package materials completes that do, and then for the community center, the historical society resource area. We had a meeting last week. It was a good meeting with members of the historical society to talk about what the vision is. We received a gift that we're going to be able to make some improvements to that area. They will have a resource for we took some notes on when it gets to conceptual planning. So, architect friends to see if I can get some pro bono services for the historical society about what the layout looks like. I have a different vision, I think, than the historical society about how we would go about it. And I just think that I think we should shoot for something But as forms lasting permanent, just spend what we have now to get it done. And I think that's where maybe we're so we're working through some things. A meeting of the minds on that issue. So that's it. I guess for community development board, and also pretty much all the discussion items is on here.
Yeah, for your community development, one of the things is where you can have as council, just like a monthly update of some services, so actually, you don't always find that out, just from like Rebecca's council saying, other state, like, we don't always hear, like, okay, the boroughs, like, at some point,
This is, I asked her to do this for that. So this is in the center folder.
so we'll have it.
We should have.
I asked you to do it, at least quarterly, maybe.
No.
I mean, just even as a hate, just like when there's like an actual effect, like they're like a ribbon cut here. I know you choose mesh, like ribbon like so.
Yeah, I agree. Okay, other questions on that community development report? Okay. Moving into all the old business discussion items, which I already just touched on. The only thing I didn't touch on was the tax grant at the triangle, which is the pedestrian walkway home. We received mail today from Peter working with, we should see preliminary final plans by the end of April, so they can submit those for final approval. They also indicated, that some amount of funding would be necessary to actually complete the project as it's been designed, has been, I don't know what it says, maybe tentatively approved, but it will be approved.
Other places have.
Yeah, so, we did get I was on a phone call about a year ago, where they said it's not a real problem, it's dead for it, so my understanding is that they were just paying for something like money, so we cover the entirety of the costs without having to do anything out of pocket, cover it. I think, construction on that is probably not. It's been very slow.
We're not the landing project.
That's, I said earlier, that we just got grant package done, so.
That was about 50 lines of things.
So, I don't know what the timeline is.
We're gonna have to hold our breath to see if it actually through at this point.
We've been told that it's moving forward.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know. but
We see the yellow thing out of $500,000 check too. This is a big one.
But we've gotten to that point, and then we have a meeting set up, we're setting up for the next phase, the next set of what we. The agreement should be coming to us signed, because all the things in the category that had.
Well, we're out of this.
Okay. New business, I have two approval of use facilities, one for the awareness wall, and one for the play of this street fair. So I think the walk is pretty self-explanatory. I'm assuming it's the same as it has been for the last few years.
This is 8 or 9.
Excuse me?
Well, this is either number 8 or number 9.
For years.
Years.
Yeah, I'm just saying, it's on the multi-use path, it's not.
Scheduled for June 28th, 10 a.m. to 1, multi-use pad up and around Wellwood Park and back.
And that's been signed off by,
That has been signed off by all of
I'll make a motion for that one.
us. Not soon, yes.
Second.
Sprouts, second, all in favor?
Aye.
Okay. Play with this street fair. I just recall this was a problem last year, that's why I wanted to do this separately. I think I recall, Mr. Talis coming in and telling us that if we didn't do certain things, it was fair, so. I do know that there was, this had to do with only having,
One side of the
tents on
street.
one side of the street and access. They held the event last year as per our wishes. I'm assuming, well, I wasn't there.
That's a good question. I was there.
There were tents everywhere. It was like,
Well, we wrapped, the changes that they made was that they kind of wrapped it around the municipal building and into, Morrissey Park in order to accommodate the tents that were supposed to be on other side
Oh,
of the road.
that's fine.
That was fine. I thought it was fine, I just think.
I'm not raising any issues.
Yeah.
I wasn't there.
So the
All I'm
balance of
saying is this was a big issue last year.
Yeah, but I thought they came up with a solution.
I
Yeah,
I
yeah,
question whether it's.
Oh, yeah, I thought you were all clear.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, okay, good answer.
I'm not suggesting it's over. I'm only asking because I just wanted to make sure this was the same. Revised last year.
Oh, I
It was
don't.
approved last year, not some other thing.
I got you, I thought they ended up doing.
No, they
They did, yeah.
So the diagram is written that is consistent, I think, and kind of proof that they should only be on one side of the street and park at. Yeah. To your point, I was there, pretty sure that wasn't the case last year, but I also don't remember Kevin, like.
No, I think they kept everything to the side. I know
Well, they did, I mean, that's why, they did have Confederate flags, that was okay, that was my issue last year, 2 years ago. So, but, that was 2 years ago. But so again, they submitted for, September 13th, getting set up at 7 a.m., going to 5 p.m. And I would say the diagram does show using both Center Street, and Park Avenue. And for both of those streets, indicating only using one side of the street.
Some exception.
The exceptions in front of his building, that building. Which there definitely was something, yeah. There's one exception. If unoccupied. I don't know if he means the alley, that's what he's talking about.
Let's get signed.
It says sign off from everyone, Kevin, Rich, Rebecca.
Kevin had a copy.
Yeah, he would have reached out.
Is that Kevin's signature?
Yeah, no, I did, he definitely would have reached out and said we have a problem.
Listen, it's it.
They usually write something down, or don't let me pass.
I would just, because I'm gonna approve it.
Yeah, I'll confirm with Mark.
It looks fine. I would make a motion,
Second.
Show the second all.
those,
Okay. Thank you. New business, discussion of marital law. This is as much new business as it is old business, well, really old business. So I received, well, Denise received an email, I did not receive, it, but ultimately I was forwarded to me. The residents in Merrill Court, I think it's 13 and 15, Merrill Court, which are two properties that have a wall attached to them, are concerned about the stability of the wall. And they're seeking for the borough to replace the wall. I mean, I'm paraphrasing. They're essentially seeking for us to do something about this, because they're worried about structural soundness of the wall. So I asked former mayors, I asked our solicitor who's been here forever. I asked Mrs. Sprouse, and ultimately we were able to pull up some old references in meetings. So this is apparently it has come up. And at that time, all research that was available was done by the borough, and it was determined that it's not our wall. We don't have responsibility for the wall. However,
This is on the property.
This is the one that I was on Charles.
yes,
Charles.
Yes, I get it.
Isn't it the property behind it?
it's connected to
It's connected.
the Merrill Court properties.
Oh, it's the
That's on there.
If you,
It is not referenced in their deeds. It is not. Now, you would presume, there's a lot, we can speculate. So I don't want to do that. Here's what I want to say. It is not our wall. It is not our responsibility. That was the determination that was made by councils well before us. I see no reason why we should change our stance on this. We, Borough did do some work on the wall using NPP funds back in the late nineties.
They were preservation.
97,
Was that?
They were preservation.
And those funds were available because that was in the census tract that permitted us to utilize those funds in that area. And so at that time we had a structural analysis of it. But all publicly available information about it and statements were that it's not ours, but we'll see how we get it. So we did at that time. I'm unaware of, first of all, NPC, that is not the census tract area. Utilize those as a fund.
Yeah.
So we don't have a fund. It is not our responsibility.
Well, who's on the block is actually still.
We have not, we didn't perform a survey, we didn't,
we did
we haven't done anything. We don't have records of a survey being completed. It is not in, I don't believe it's in the deeds for those properties. It was not specifically referenced in the deeds of properties. I believe, I don't have access, I would have to actually go to Canada and read that. What was publicly available, the most recent deeds.
Do we have anything in our, were you able to find anything in the that was built?
1924 now.
Oh, is that what it was built? Oh, yeah.
100 years ago.
Okay.
So,
There's no missing easements, there's no
No,
rights of way.
not that we
This is
have.
all private property and lands.
Yes.
Correct.
Private property, money,
Correct.
so we are, so.
I'll be honest, I thought it was, I assumed it was not the word court, the other person's property that people walking through.
So there's a lot of speculation, right? What the speculation is, it was in lumberyard and it was just placed there to create a separation between residential.
But the wall is actually attached to the Marrow Court buildings. It is, if you go to the end of it, it is literally.
So 15 and 13 are opposite of each other.
Pieces of the roof.
Yes,
Oh, really?
yes,
Well, that tells me that's probably more there than anybody else.
You guess.
I would be.
It would seem to me that you know, again, I'm speculating, but I think that there was there probably should have been an HOA created, something like to manage the common law issues, but 1924 being what it was.
And I think what the guy said, everyone will get a couple of small.
Probably could have been essentially what happened in 1997. In addition to the MVP, it was some efforts to try and.
And I don't think they have an HOA in it.
No.
So anyway, they've requested our assistance. I plan on responding to such a thing. We have no legal responsibility for this wall. We've done, you know, councils before have done this. We've contributed when funds were available, our funds that were grant funds that could be used in this area. And that's the only reason that we contributed at that time. Those grant funds are not available. We are happy to try and work with you, provide resources to try and identify funding opportunities to help to defray any costs, but the borough is not. That's kind of where my head is. Are you good with that?
Yeah.
Those that kind of mention, we could consider the walls.
yeah, I think it's not even a matter of walls, you make a fair side of your practice, make a fair homes still. It is literally connected to the homes.
Well, that's the whole thing. I'm just start touching the wall.
I don't even think that. It's not our problem. That's the stance. So,
Sometimes I do want to serve.
you're right, it might be worth a survey.
Say. Oh, sure, that would probably be some. But after the surveys, I think they say it's ours. How big?
Well,
Anybody, right?
what we'll do is maybe we'll just like, let's leave that there for I'll respond. Okay. We have three Resolutions for the consent agenda, that's resolutions 25, 48, 49, and 50, is it those? Okay, no objection to those, so I will ask for the consent agenda, it's resolution 25, 48, all 27, chapter 1, governing body resolution. All right.
They're all here under the most sign.
Sign that.
Each one has.
This is about, opportunity. 25, 49, the tax exemption, 25, 50, payment, sales tax, and certain property, that would be a motion. So, second. Mr. Turner first, Mr. Wood second. Roll call.
Mr. Benjamin?
Yes.
Mr. Fitzgerald?
Aye.
Mr. McGloon?
Yes.
Mr. Perno?
Yes.
Mr. Raza?
Yes.
Yes.
Thank you.
I can say it.
Next item on the agenda is resolution 25, 51, which is the introduction of budget for
So moved. Second.
which introduction, second, right, any discussion? Hearing none, I'll roll call it.
Benjamin?
Yes.
Mr. Fitzgerald?
Aye.
Mr. McGloon?
Yes.
Mr. Perno? Mr. Raza?
Yeah.
Mr. Woods?
Yes.
I have a copy of the budget, if anybody wants to.
And you're gonna make sure that you get that. All the members count.
Yes. I can put it on.
We'll just make it available. Or not everybody.
Okay.
Okay, ordinance for introduction on first reading, for adoption of public hearing to go next fall, 2025, this is salary ordinance for 2025, motion. Second. That motion, Colonel, second, Mr. Woods, any question on the introductions? Hearing none, roll call please.
Mr. Benjamin?
Yes.
Mr. Fitzgerald?
Aye.
Mr. McGloon?
Yes.
Mr. Perno?
Yes.
Mr. Raza?
Yes.
Mr. Woods?
Yes. Thank you very much. As Mr. Carter said earlier, the payment bills for 2552.
Silent move. $1,050,000.
As a motion, Mr. Carter, second, Mr. Sprazza. Any discussion? Hearing none, roll call please.
Mr. Benjamin?
Yes.
Mr. Fitzgerald? Mr. McGloon?
Yes.
Mr. Perno?
Yes.
Mr. Raza?
Yes.
Mr. Woods?
Yes.
Thank you very much. All right, next is announcements. Are there any announcements? Other than-
Just the mayor's, there's a plaque up there for, the mayor's, mayor's house. We're gonna put-
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I already know. Right.
All right, how-
Oh, you read it?
Yeah, no, well, sorry,
Okay,
I took it,
oh, I took it.
and I was gonna present it to the rest of the health.
Oh, okay.
This.
Yeah.
Shop that
What is, say what it is?
Is the Mayor's Wellness Campaign, New Jersey Healthy Care Watch 2024, presented to Merchant for your commitment to improving the health and wellness of your community, presented by the New Jersey Healthcare Quality Institute.
That's us.
I'll be coming.
I can tell you on the forms of that.
Be a blues on next.
Okay, we do have, an item for, closed session as litigation. Mr. Strasburg first. Second. Mr. McClellan. All in favor? Aye. Opposed?